really stitchy. Yeah, on there. What the hell's up, everybody? What's up, fuckers? What's going on? Welcome to another pool school video. Tammy and Gary here from Crystal Vision Pools. Hashtag Cvpoolpros. We got some shit to talk about today.
Shit talking.
So we were traveling today. Long story, but we were traveling today, and we got a call from a potential customer, that told us some information that another pool company is telling people that is so absurdly ridiculous that we literally had to do this to set the record straight and to get you the right information. Okay? So it's two different things, but one of the main things is running your pool. So when to run your pool. Now, if you go back and watch previous lives of ours, you will see that I have always... We'll get another chair. You will see that I have always said run your pool during the day. There's reasons for that. They're telling people to run it at night. Okay? Absurd. There is no reason to run your pool at night. Here's why you run your pool during the day. And I'm going to go into the other thing in a minute. I'm just blown away by the stupidity of what this company told this guy and what they're apparently telling their customers. So you run a pool during the day for three reasons actually. There's really four reasons, but three reasons that have to do directly with the pool. Number one, when the sun is out and you have the jets facing up and have it circulating like this, okay, backwards, counterclockwise, the sun can't beat the chemicals out through the waves as easily. Obviously, it's still going to beat the chemicals out to an extent, but it can't get through the waves as easily as long as you have it coming up on the top. That's why you always put your jets facing between 1 and 2 o'clock. So when you're standing over it, it's facing like this. That way, it's facing up and 1 to 2 o'clock. So it gives this motion, counterclockwise motion in the pool. Not clockwise, counterclockwise. Okay? The other reason is the sun, or the moving of the water, also helps lessen. It doesn't stop, but it helps lessen evaporation.
Well, buddy, come here.
It helps lessen evaporation. Okay? It also helps you technically use less chlorine because it's not allowing the sun to beat the chemicals out of the pool. Okay? God damn these fucking bugs. So those are the main reasons why we tell you to run it during the day. It has to do with the sun. It has nothing to do with running the water. It has to do with the sun. That's why we always say during the day. As a rule of thumb, during the day. Okay? Now, a minimum of 8 hours runtime. It's called turnaround rate. Every drop of water, it's calculated with the size of the filter to the size of the pool, that every drop of water goes from the pool through the filter system back to the pool in a full, consistent 8-hour runtime. Not 4 and 4, not 5 and 3, not 7 and 1, not 6 and 2. Okay? A full, straight 8-hour runtime. Okay? So 8 hours. Straight 8 hours. Okay? A work day. 8 hours. Minimum 8 hours. They are telling people this is ridiculous.
Beyond ridiculous.
This is stupid. So first of all, they're telling people to run their pools at night, not during the day. Dumbest thing I've ever heard. I've been doing this 31 years. I've never heard that. And Squirrel, what's up, Dad?
Squirrel, what's up, Pop?
So, ridiculous to run a pool at night. There's no point in running a pool at night. Like, there's no sun. So there's no
Let
point.
me collaborate on that a little bit.
Collaborate? You mean
elaborate?
elaborate?
Let me elaborate.
Stop. Collaborate and listen. Go ahead.
Ice is back.
I don't really need these right now.
They told this gentleman that if you have a salt
I was getting ready to go into that.
system, you are to run the pool for 8 hours
At night.
at night.
At night.
But
This is really fucking retarded.
But if you have a chlorine running,
Regular chlorine, which is salt is.
you are to run the pool at night for 4 hours.
Again, huh? So, guys, we can't make this stupid shit up.
I was told this earlier today.
She was told this by the customer. That was told this by, I'm not going to name the pool company, but I can tell you where they are. They're down in Norristown. I know where they are. I know exactly. Matter of fact, Tammi, when we first met, Tammi drove me down to an interview. I mean, I had a vehicle. She just wanted to go with me. We drove down to this place for an interview, and I actually walked out of the interview. So all I got to say is no wonder we never see their trucks if they're telling people this stupid shit. Okay? You never, ever, ever run a pool at night. It's absolutely pointless to run a pool at night for the reasons that I gave you. The run time of the pool has nothing to do with the chemistry of the pool. Nothing to do with the chemistry of the pool. Let me say that again for the people in the back and for the people that want to listen to this other fucking company. The running of the pool with the filter system has zero to do with the chemicals. It has to do with the turnaround rate of the water through the filter back to the pool. It's 8 hours straight run time. During the day is because of the sun. Now, another myth we're going to bust here real quick on these idiots is, number one, chlorine is fucking chlorine. Chlorine has several different forms. There's tablets, 3-inch and 1-inch. They have both. Hockey puck tabs is what they call the 3-inch in the business. And then there's a little 1-inch, okay? Granular chlorine, shock, as you guys know it. There's also liquid shock, which is liquid chlorine. Then there's the salt system. Guys, gals, the salt system, that salt cell that you're buying, you know the salt that you're putting in the fucking water? Guess what that is doing? That is turning that salt cell through electrolysis. It turns it to fucking liquid chlorine. It's taking that salt water from the pool, running it through the salt cell, and turning it into liquid chlorine. It's a chlorine system. It's no different. It's fucking chlorine. So please stop listening to these freaking companies that are trying to sell you this bullshit. It's chlorine. When you shock the pool with either granular chlorine or liquid chlorine. It's fucking chlorine. The only difference is that some people will tell you, oh, it feels softer on my skin. I have heard it feels no different. It feels softer, and it makes my skin feel tougher. I've heard all of it. She has too. We've heard all of it. There's no fucking difference. It's still chlorine. So stop with the, I have a salt system. It's chlorine. You have a chlorine pool. Plain and simple.
And they are not cheap
No.
to replace
No.
when they go bad.
No.
By
And to be
any
honest with you,
stretch.
they're not any easier to maintain either. These companies are telling people, oh my God, they're so much easier. No, they're not.
And you won't have to use chlorine. Bullshit.
Bullshit. First of all, you still have to shock the pool.
Bullshit.
You still have to shock the pool. Number one, you still have to shock the pool.
And
that's number one. And you're using chlorine to shock it, whether you're using liquid or using granular shock. You're still shocking the pool.
And you have to worry about having bags of salt on hand.
For when you need it. Because rain, splash out, and having to add water with the hose, that does deplete the salt over time. Now, it takes a while, but it still does deplete the salt. Now, the other thing is,
you have to be more on top with your
chemistry.
chemicals.
She's 100% accurate.
Have to
I was actually just getting ready to say, your pH,
spot on.
Your pH runs high. Here's why, and this is another thing these fucking idiots don't tell you. This pisses me off. That's why I'm not naming who the company is, because it pisses me off. They don't tell you that liquid chlorine, which is what that's turning it into, the salt cell is turning that salt water into liquid chlorine. Liquid chlorine, if you would do your research, if they would do their research, they would tell people that liquid chlorine has a pH of 13 by itself. So guess what happens? It brings your pH sky high. That's why your pH usually runs around 8.4, 8.0, 8.1, even up to an 8.4. So guess what you have to do constantly? You have to either bring it down with pH decreaser or muriatic acid. Your pH level is always going to run high. Guess what that's going to do? That's going to potentially bring your alkalinity level up too, because they work together. They work in tandem. Guys, gals, it's so much easier just to use 3-inch hockey puck tablets in floaters in the pool. Let it float around. It's going to chlorinate your pool. Run the pool during the day, a minimum of 8 hours, the way we tell you, and your pools, every single one of our pools, our weekly and bi-weekly service pools are, let me say it, crystal clear. Every one of them uses our system. Every single one of them. Floaters in the pool, depending on the size of the pool, depends on how many floaters you need. Floaters in the pool with 3-inch hockey puck tablets, and we shock it as needed. They run their pool during the day, minimum of 8 hours. You want simple? We can give you simple. You want to pay thousands of dollars for a freaking salt system? Go ahead. But you have to run your pool. You have to, and not at night. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. I can't believe they're telling people that. During the day, you run the pool. I still can't believe it. And this guy, the really nice guy. He's a veteran. Very, very nice guy. Really badass. Tammi was on the phone with him for a long time. Totally agree with you guys. What's that?
8 hours straight.
Totally agree with you. Thank you, Brenda.
Yes, Brenda is a customer of ours.
And Brenda knows. If you want to know if the floaters work.
Look, Brenda, I got props tonight.
If you want to know if the floaters work, Brenda can tell you. Brenda is a very good candidate to tell you how well the floaters work. Her pool did not run for 2 weeks, and she didn't do shit to it except keep the floaters full. It was off for 2 weeks.
With rain.
With rain and high heat. Kept the motor off. She just didn't run it. Because when we were there,
when it was low.
When we were there, it was low. So I turned it off and I took the timer tab off so it wouldn't burn the pump up. I thought she was away. She never turned it back on. I thought she was running it. All she did was keep those floaters full of those 3-inch hockey puck tablets we've told her to do. When we got back there 2 weeks later, without that pool running, and never shocked it. She didn't even shock it. She did nothing but keep those floaters full. That pool was still crystal clear. Guys, the floaters work. That's why we have our customers do it. Here's another thing. You want to talk about saving money on chemicals? If you do what we tell you, you will save money on chemicals. When you put those floaters into the pool with the chlorine tablets in there.
Somebody's cooking out again. Brenda, somebody's cooking out again.
Oh my God. When you put the floaters in the pool with the chlorine tablets in there and they're floating around, the water dictates. The water's going to take what it needs. Guess what? If it gets high, take one out. The water is going to dictate. The warmer the water, the more it gives off. The colder the water, the less it gives off. So guess what? As the water gets colder, you're going to use less chlorine. Okay? But the water dictates what it needs. Again, if it gets high, you just pull a floater out, let it sit for a little while. Okay? So you're going to use less chlorine because it's not being forced in from a chlorinator or the salt cell. Okay? It's also not getting diluted from the chlorinator to the pool. It's sitting right in the water.
And guess what?
You don't have to run your pool at night because it's chlorinating all night long. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and if you have a chlorinator or the salt cell, what happens if something goes wrong with your filter system
And you can't run it.
or your pump and you can't run it?
You're
Guess
shit out
what?
of luck.
You're SOL in a boat with no freaking paddles.
Floaters are the answer.
Because that's the only way your chlorine is going to get into the pool if you have the chlorinator or the salt cell, is when your pool is running.
Chlorine floaters are your answer. Period. I will stand by that statement 100%. I will go up against any other pool company out there saying floaters are the answer. You ask any one of my pool customers, and you know what they will tell you? Listen to the guy.
We've had people that
8 years now we've been doing it this way. 8 years. And I've been doing it longer than that.
Here's another little tidbit. As far as the chlorinators go, they stop working on a dime.
Yeah, they do. We actually had a customer that was working great. One day we get there and we're not getting chlorine reading. What the hell?
Yep.
We popped it open. There was tabs in it. What the fuck? So he said, well, let's turn it up. So I turned it up. I turned it up all the way. We get back to next week, no chlorine reading. Finally, we told her. She said, well, then screw it. Do the floaters.
Yep.
Guess what?
No
they haven't
problems.
had any non-chlorine readings since.
And
perfect. And the pool always looks crystal clear.
We've had a customer that had a salt cell.
Yep.
He switched over to floaters because his needed to be replaced, and the thing was over $1,000.
Yep.
Just for the cell. Just for the little cell.
And that was the cost of the cell, not installation included, just the cell.
Yep.
He switched over to floaters, and guess what? Guess what his pool looks like? Crystal clear. Trust me, floaters are the way to go. And if you want to shock and not have to worry about brushing, liquid chlorine. Just pour it in. Doesn't even have to be running if you don't want. If you want to do it when it's running, pour it in front of a jet. It'll put it right in. But it's liquid. It'll mix right in. I'm telling you guys, we can save you guys a lot of time and a lot of money on chemicals. And a ton of time.
Yeah, so if you have a pool company that tells you to run your pool at night, walk away.
Fire that pool company.
Walk away.
It's ridiculous. I can't believe a pool company's telling people that. Never in the 31 years that I have been doing this have I ever heard somebody tell a pool company to tell a customer to run it at night. No wonder we never see their trucks.
And that it's different run time for a salt cell versus a non-salt cell.
It makes that makes no sense, because the running of the pool is not for the chemicals, as I said in the beginning of this. The running of the pool has nothing to do with the chemicals. Yeah, they're saying, okay, you're going to mix up the chemicals. Well, if you use liquid and you have the tabs in there, that movement in the water is mixing the chemicals up anyway. That doesn't, I don't even believe in that shit. Because we have done all of the shit that they're saying you need to do. We have done the exact opposite. And we have cleaned up pools that were green, black, brown, or cloudy without running them. So if it's a there you go. If it's a chemistry thing,
there you go,
and you have to have the pool running to keep it clear, how the fuck are we cleaning up pools that are cloudy, green, brown, and black without them running? How are we doing that?
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
So what that tells me is running the pool has nothing to do with mixing the chemicals up. They're going to mix in anyway. Running the pool is because of the sun during the day. And if you use the floaters, you don't have to worry about it running to chlorinate it unless you have a chlorinator or a salt system, which we don't recommend. Use the damn floaters. But we are cleaning pools up that are not running. We're using the chemicals to clean them up before we ever start them. As a matter of fact, if we go to a pool that is closed and we we take the cover off and we see it's green, black, or brown, guess what we do? We don't even pull the plugs. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. We don't even pull the plugs. We put the chemicals in.
Stick it in your hat
and let it clean the pool. The chemicals do the work. We don't want to run that shit water through the system. We clear them up. You ask any one of the pool customers that we've cleaned up, and they will tell you they never ran the pool till it was crystal clear. How are we doing that?
We can do it, but other companies can't.
How now? Now, how now, brown cow, would you think we're doing that shit over here? You know, how do you think a couple of rednecks are doing that shit over here? I wonder how the fuck they're doing that shit over here. See, that don't make no sense because you gotta run a filter system to get the chemicals to mix in. But these motherfuckers are over here cleaning pools up without running the fucking system, and they're putting the chemicals in. How are them chemicals mixing? Maybe y'all ought to go back to school for pools. Sorry, not sorry.
Not sorry.
I mean, Brenda, there you go. There's a little laugh for you. But guys, I mean, in all seriousness, we're being told some ridiculous shit this year, and we're being told from customers that are being told from other pool companies. We are here to set the record straight so you guys get the correct information.
And I did tell that customer, I said, they're full of shit.
They're full of shit.
They're full of shit.
They don't know what they're talking about. I'm sorry.
And I didn't just say that. I explained
why. And that's what I told. That's what I said. Why I said when to run a pool. Now, we went into a little bit more detail, but that's why I said when to run a pool and why. We'll give you reasons. And if you think about it, it's a very valid reason because of the sun. The running of the pool has nothing to do with chemistry.
At night, nothing's beating the chemicals out.
Nope.
There's no sun.
There's no point in running a pool at night. We've never run a pool at night.
You don't have evaporation at night.
You don't have as much. I mean, you may have some evaporation with extreme heat because of radiation. Because of radiant heat. Okay? Because of radiant heat. But you don't have the amount of evaporation you have with the sun. But if it's running and it's circulating around the top of the pool, on the top of the the very top of the pool, the surface of the water, if you have your jets facing up and doing a counterclockwise circuit, the water, the sun cannot get through that as easily to beat the chemicals out or to evaporate the water as fast. I'm telling you guys, it works. But like I said, and I'm glad I thought of that actually about us cleaning up pools. We don't run them. We don't run pools to clean them up. I don't want to run that shit through, especially when we do a sand change. If they have a sand filter, I'm not running that shit through the sand.
Yep.
Because you never really 100% backwash it all the way out. We never run a nasty pool to clear it up. Never. And I mean, guys, see this shirt? We've cleaned up pools as black as this shirt.
And,
no joke.
Think of
Not
this.
even an exaggeration. And never ran it until it was clear.
If you have a green, black, or brown, or foamy pool.
Yes, she does mean foamy. I've cleaned one up.
There's companies out there that are telling customers to run the pool. So now let's sit here and think about that for a second. You're running shitty-ass water through your filter and back in the pool again. All you're doing is circulating shitty water.
Even if you have a DE filter, the water is still shitty to an extent, and some of it's going to get through. The other thing you have to do is you have to keep going out and backwashing. Yet they tell you to backwash 4 or 5 times a day. Who the fuck has time to sit home and backwash a pool 4 or 5 times a day? Just don't run it. Use the chemicals to clean it. Simple. That's what we do. And we have a very good track record. Guys, you ask any one of our customers, and anyone that we've cleaned up this year, and they will tell you, yeah, they clear it up without it running.
We make it simple.
I'm floored at some of the information that these freaking pool companies, this particular pool company, is telling people. But you know what? All the pool companies around here that we are hearing, and none of them are left out of this. We have heard from customers that have been with every single one of them, different customers, that have told us the craziest shit. And when we clean that pool up without it running, they're going, holy shit. And in less than half the time, sometimes less than a quarter of the time, that they were fucking with it running. I mean, need I say more? I mean, if you go back through all the posts that we've put up, go look at all the pools that we've cleaned. Every one of them. Some of them I even took pictures of the plug still being in the pool just to show you I cleared it up without it ever running. So if that's the case, why do you have to run the pool to keep it clear? But these two idiots, we're cleaning them up without them running. Kind of makes you wonder.
We must have the secret sauce.
Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Maybe these two redneck assholes know what the fuck they're talking about, huh? Do you need to learn some shit? Hookums. I mean, but you know what? Here's the problem, though. I mean, we're making a joke about this, but this is really not funny.
This is really happening.
It's really not funny because these people are giving you guys wrong information. I mean, these are pool companies.
Just when we think that we've heard it all.
Oh, today I was like, what the fuck? Guys, in 31 years, I've been doing this. Oh, it's 31 years this year that I've been in the pool industry. I have never, ever, ever heard a pool company tell a customer to run it at night. Never. And I've never heard them tell them a different amount of runtime for salt chlorine versus regular chlorine. What the fuck regular chlorine is, I have no idea.
Here's a really dumb question. How? And wait, I had the thought, but now it kind of sounds stupid, though, if I say it.
But no, just say it, and we'll figure it out.
How?
Excuse me.
How does the system know it's salt versus chlorine?
Exactly. Yeah, no, she's right. It does sound stupid, but it's exactly. How does the system know? How does the system know whether it's night or day?
How does
Things
the
that make you go.
How does the water know it's night or day?
It has nothing to do with. It has to do with the sun. Running your pool has to do with the sun during
and the reaction
day.
With the chemicals.
Well, not even the reaction with the chemicals. Just the sun can't get through. And never point your jets down. Face them up and to the between 1 and 2 o'clock. Trust me, between 1 and 2 o'clock. Facing them down does nothing. That's bullshit. Do not let pool companies tell you that. Some of the old timers used to tell you that. The only problem that you run into is if you have an old Anthony or an old Sylvan pool.
And that's what his pool is.
Yeah, if you have an old Sylvan pool, Sylvan did a misjustice. They did an injustice to everybody. What they did is they used small inch and I'm going to say 1 inch, maybe even half inch. I think it is. I think it's either half or 3/4 inch line as the returns. And what they did is they angled them.
Sweet.
They angled them, but they angled them mid wall. So.
I have a question. Can we have? Because I use the money to get food. So, because she wants to go to the mall.
Well, hold on.
Yeah, hang on a minute, okay? Well, we're not done yet.
Hold on a minute.
Well, if you want to go deal with that. I forgot what I was saying now. The hell was I saying? What was I saying?
I'm not sure.
Get interrupted now. I don't remember. Anyway, you guys know where I'm going with all this. I mean, we don't really need to repeat it. Here's the thing. Run your pool during the day, minimum of 8 hours, straight 8 hours. The more you run it, the clearer it'll be. Oh, I remember the jets. So Anthony Sylvan, and it's now Anthony Sylvan, Anthony and Sylvan, because they're together, they merged. When they put jets in your pool, I know Sylvan used to do it. Now, I haven't seen a new Anthony Sylvan pool in a while, so I don't know if they're still doing it. But it was mid-wall. You can't angle them up. So it's mid-wall. Their theory is that if you have it going down the bottom, it's going to circulate up top. No, it doesn't. You want it running up top. If you have eyeballs that you can maneuver, that you can angle, you want to look down at it where you would be adjusting it, okay? And you want to have it angled like this, between 1 and 2 o'clock, so you get this kind of motion on top of the water. That way it creates this backwards vortex, a counterclockwise vortex in the pool. What's going to happen with that is when the stuff falls in the pool, whatever shit, leaves, debris, whatever, falls in the pool, it's going to corkscrew. It's going to unscrew and go to the outside. When it goes to the outside and it goes past the skimmer, it gets sucked in. You're going to have a cleaner surface. If you have a cleaner surface, you're going to have a cleaner bottom. The stuff won't get to the bottom. That's the whole reason you do it. Well, that's the main reason you do it. But then the other reason, the sun can't get through the water to beat the chemicals out because now it's floating on top, and it helps lessen evaporation because it can't evaporate the running water as easily. So there's multiple reasons why. There's the reasons why you don't run a pool at night. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. No reason to run a pool at night. There's your scientific reason why to run a pool during the day. A minimum of 8 hours is because of an 8-hour run time is for turnaround rate. Pools are plumbed, filter systems are plumbed for an 8-hour turnaround run time. Every drop of water goes from the pool through the filter system back to the pool in a straight 8-hour runtime. Do not break up that 8 hours. Straight 8-hour runtime during the day for full turnaround rate of the water. Full filtration turnaround rate of the water. Can't say it any easier than that. There's your reasons. Okay? Please, guys, be vigilant. And guys, if something, ask questions. If you hear something from I don't care if it's another pool company. You don't even have to tell me who it is. I don't care. If you don't feel that something sounds right, or you just want to know if what they're telling you is right, please contact us. 610-780-3614. Preferably text, at least at first, to let us know so that we know you're going to call. And then Tammi will set up a call. Okay? Or email us at cvpoolpros@gmail.com. If you need to call, try to always text first. Trust me, it's a lot easier because we get a ton of spam. She doesn't always answer the phone because we're either busy or it's a spam call because they come through as spam now. If you're not in the phone book, it comes through as spam. If you're not in our phone, that's the way it is on cell phones now. Don't know why, it's the way it is. If you're not sure, ask questions. If the pool company you're dealing with, whether it's retail or service, it doesn't make a difference. I've done both. I've done retail and service. So it makes no difference to me. If the company you're dealing with is not giving you answers, and believe me, there's a lot of them out there, they're blowing you off. We're hearing this from customers that are coming to us from these other companies. Guys, gals, we're hearing this that's coming from major, like, nationwide big companies are blowing people off and giving people wrong information. We're hearing it. We're telling you this so that you know that it's going on out there. We will give you real world answers. We'll give you the honest truth answers. Okay? If you need to know something, if you're not sure if you're being told something right, or you just want to make sure they're not blowing smoke up your ass or bullshitting you about something, contact us. We will set things straight. We'll answer your questions to the best of our ability, to the best of our knowledge. Okay? It pisses me off that this shit's happening out there. And it's happening a lot now. Like, it's bad this year. Really, really bad. All right? I think that's all I've had for this one. I know this is a little bit longer pool school video. I apologize, but I wanted to get all this information out to you guys because of what we heard today. We were blown away by the fact, like, what the fuck? So we wanted to make sure that you guys got the information. This is going to be uploaded. It is live on YouTube, but it will be uploaded to our YouTube. As soon as I click off this, it'll be uploaded to our YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Cvpoolpros 16. Our Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok are at Cvpoolpros. Guys, follow us, like us, subscribe to us, and please be vigilant. Please think about listen to what they're saying. And if something just doesn't even seem right, contact us. We'll set you right. We'll get you going straight. Because we hate what we're hearing in the industry today. It's ridiculous. All right? All right, everybody. Have a great rest of the weekend. We will talk to y'all soon. And we will see you on the next one. Enjoy. Later.